It's time to get everyone's favorite armor set for everyone's favorite Zelda game, and that is the Twilight set. We're actually going to cover everything of the Twilight Princess collection in this game and how you can get it all. Now, I know you couldn't see it very well there, but I just had to do this at Twilight in the game. Alright, I'll show you a good close-up of all the gear. A lot of people's favorite game is indeed Twilight Princess, and that is the set we're going to get. But this is one of the hardest sets in the game to get, so I'm still going to show you how. This is what he looks like. This is the Twilight Princess Link. And it looks good. I mean, it's a good set, but this isn't the only Twilight Princess gear you can get. There's a lot of other stuff. I'm also going to show you how to get this sword, which is in this game called the Dusk claymore. And this is a sword that you would have seen featured in some of the Twilight Princess cutscenes. I believe this is the sword that maybe Ganon used to kill the sages, one of the sages. So this looks cool. It is another one that you can get, and I will show you guys how to get that. I'm also going to show you how to get Zelda's bow from Twilight Princess, which is the Dusk bow in this game, and it was very powerful in Breath of the Wild. However, still pretty good. It has been nerfed. However, there it is, and it does glow at nighttime as well, so it will look pretty cool. You can kind of see the glow effect happening right there in the shadows. That looks sick. It's going to be really a nice piece to have on your back, and it is, again, another item from Twilight Princess. Additionally, there is Midna's helmet in this, which comes with a pretty nice buff too, and that's what it looks like. Looks great, and I think a lot of people, for just nostalgia's sake, are going to want to get their hands on this one as well. And there's one more. Now, this comes with a very unique buff that you cannot get anywhere else in the game, and that is the unfreezable buff. You will not be able to be frozen ever while wearing this helmet. And this, of course, if you don't know what it is, it's Zant's helmet, another major character from Twilight Princess, and I'm going to show you guys how to get all of this gear right now. Another one of the reasons I wanted to cover this one now is because, for whatever reason, all the Twilight Princess stuff gets special treatment in this game beyond some of the other ones. So I did want to cover that for a particular reason. And you will see what I mean, maybe, if you get familiar with some of the armors and their locations. You're going to see how the developers decided to treat the Twilight Princess ones differently. So for the first piece of the armor that I'm wearing right now, which is going to be the Tunic piece, the main body piece for the Twilight Princess set, is you're going to want to enter this rift, this chasm right here in the East Akala Plains. That's what this one is. It's the East Akala Plains chasm, and we're going to jump right in. Now, the reason this is a unique one is you're not just going to be stumbling across it randomly. It's in a very special place. Down in the depths, we're going to go in through this chasm, and we're going to go down and around and all the way into here. And yes, this is the only way in. You will have to go all the way around into the middle of this. And if you happen to not have this area explored yet and you're looking around, you're going to be wondering, how come I can't get in there? It's all covered by cliffs. You're going to be climbing. You might be wasting a bit of time. Sadly, the only way in is in here, is in this little gap right there. So we're going to do that right now. All right, so when you're near the entrance, you can go ahead and whip out your vehicle, whatever vehicle that might be. You can see me on the map here. I'm right here. This place is full block of enemies, man. There's enemies all over the place, so you're going to want to have a vehicle to just drive through them, preferably with defense, which I don't actually have. However, you may very well just be able to drive around them. This is just going to save you a lot of time and a lot of hassle. I don't recommend fighting any of them because there doesn't seem to be anything good on the way. You're just going to have to get to the destination as quick as you can. Once you make it into the middle, guys, you're going to find a chest with a Tunic of Twilight, which is this body piece, along with a light bulb to light up and use as a teleport point, but you're never going to come back here again anyway. The next piece is going to be found fairly nearby, considering it's not that bad. It's in the ancient underground fortress, which is directly below the Akala Citadel ruins, that giant fortress on the surface you would be pretty familiar with if you played Breath of the Wild. And underneath here, you're going to see something similar, an ancient underground fortress that goes downwards. And what you want to do is, you want to collect the light bulb that's right on the edge, so you can teleport there and light up the area. And then you're going to want to fall down all the way to the very, very bottom. And the chest is in one of these square rooms down here. I believe it might be this one right there. And once you do, you get the Trousers of Twilight. For the final piece of this armor set, you're going to want to come to this area here, just west of Typhlo Ruins. This chasm is where you want to enter. So in the depths, where we want to go for this final piece is right over here, a Gleeok Den. This is literally a boss arena, and it's completely blocked off from every direction except for this tiny little entryway right here, which is going to be super easy to miss if you have not explored everything. So let's go ahead and make our way over there and see what horrors await for us. This is what the entrance actually looks like. It's this tiny little caveway. So it doesn't even have entryways all the way up. It's just you're gonna have to see this sliver. And in we go, folks. And actually, the boss isn't here, so I guess it's just a one-time oh, there he is. Yes, this is a King Gleeok, guys. And yes, you will have to beat him to unlock the chest for this area, which will give you the cap of Twilight to finish off this armor piece. I'm so sorry. This is what I mean by them giving the Twilight sets special treatment. This is one of those things. First of all, you got the tunic down some really long, extravagant path, and then you got this for the cap. And this is King Gleeok, which has all three elements going on for his head. So have fun with that and good luck. The next piece we're going to do is Zant's helmet. Now this just gives you the ability straight up unfreezable. You'll never be able to be frozen, and it comes with a bit of irony because you're only going to be able to find it in the first kind of area that you might access in the depths, which is the lava area under Elden. And what we're going to do is we're going to come to this part of the map. You'll find this scorching coliseum sort of near the entryway to the actual depths. Probably, if you didn't do the quest in Lookout Landing, this will be the first time you do encounter the depths. And this is where it is. It's the Scorching Coliseum very nearby the entranceway that you will have to come to throughout the story anyway. So you will be able to find it very easily. Coliseums all look very, very obvious in the overworld if you don't have the map, and they all come with these pillars, and they're all surrounded by like this cliff. So they all look like this in the depths. Make your way into it however you want. I don't believe this one was that difficult. Let's just have a quick look at what enemies might be here. These are moblins. So they're only moblins. They're only like the second hardest enemy you could fight. They're not that bad. And once you go through them all, you will unlock a chest that's right here in the center for Zant's hat. The next one is going to be for Midna's helmet, which gives gloom resistance, and that's a little buff that will help you in the underground. And this is what it looks like. You've seen it, me show it off, and you've seen it in the thumbnail. It's pretty cool, especially for people who really like Midna, one of the best characters ever to happen to exist in Zelda. And what you're going to have to do for this one, another one that's really out of the way, very hidden, is come to Eventide Island, all the way in the very far southeast corner of the map. You guys should know this from Breath of the Wild if you played this. Eventide Island, and we're going to enter the chasm via here because this is a blocked off area. So go ahead and pop into the chasm on the north part of the island, and we're going to have to do something a little more as well so we can claim this actual helmet. And that, by the way, is going to be another Coliseum. Yeah, so like I said, special treatment for the Twilight Princess stuff. They did really make it a lot harder to get this gear above all the other gear for the other games. They obviously are a fan favorite of the developers themselves. The enemies for this Coliseum are just bokoblins, so very easy one, this one. Next up is the Dusk claymore, which is the sword that featured in one of the cutscenes where Ganon in Twilight Princess killed one of the sages after a failed execution attempt. And that is this very sword. And looking at it, guys, it comes at level 32, or rather 32 damage down here. A slender claymore thought to have been handed down to the Kingdom of Hyrule ages ago. The blade shines with a holy luster. And you might remember that from certain cutscenes in your favorite game. The good news is you can fuse it to other weapons, and you'll be able to make all sorts of cool contraptions. Now, of course, if you guys are not familiar with this, you can go into your weapon and destroy the fused materials in here as an option in your inventory if you want to just get the regular sword back. However, if you didn't see that there, it starts at level 32, or rather 32 damage, which means if you add some good gear to this, you're going to be getting a mighty strong weapon. Let's have a look at what that actually does for me. That gives me a level 56. That's pretty decent. You'll be able to find better, though. The bad news, however, is you're going to have to come to the Typhlo ruins here north of Great Hyrule Forest, and this is in the overworld at least, but you're going to have to beat the quest for the archaeologist that's here doing this work. So have fun with that. It is pretty late game in order to get to access to this sword, so just keep that in mind. Twilight Princess, special treatment. The last piece of the puzzle for all the Twilight Princess gear you can get in this game rests in the castle. So if you're coming towards the front entrance of the castle, which you would have done at the beginning of the game anyway, we're going to make our way inside because we're going to have to go all the way up to there. Right up there is where we want to go. So ultimately, guys, the only way to do this is to whip out your favorite contraption. You can use a simple one, you can use an advanced one, whatever you guys got going for you, and make your way all the way up to the top spire of the castle. So let's go ahead, alright, let's get our ass up there, and I'll show you guys where exactly this final piece is. So it is stormy up here. Unequip all your steel items before you do this. Something I should have recommended beforehand. I just forgot. And the final place is in here. There's a little hole in the spire, guys, and you'll actually just see it resting there. There it is. So let's go ahead and jump off of this, and let's get our bow. The Dusk bow, folks, which is the bow Zelda used in Twilight Princess. There it is. It's been in the royal family for ages, said to have been used by a princess who fought beasts of Twilight. It forcefully fires long-range arrows. There we have it, everybody. You got all the Twilight Princess gear now. That's a wrap on all the Twilight Princess gear. Hopefully you found this guide useful. As always, drop a sub if you're new, and if you did like it, do like it. Let me know what you thought of it in the comments if you have any comments, and hopefully you just find good practical use out of it. I am doing these guides for all the different gear, but you'll be able to see this Twilight Princess stuff just really does stand out. There's more of it than some of the other games, and they're harder to obtain. Some of them, of course, are only late game anyway, as I just showed you, and that is just going to be the way it is, folks. But either way, that's how you get it all. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you around in the next video. Till then, guys, have a good one. Bye!